Hello friends, I'm Kayla. Thank you for coming back to my channel. It's my favorite time of year and it's my favorite video to film. I just love a TBR. I love a seasonal organization telling you what I'm about to do and then I follow through with it and then I feel like just great. So let's talk about reading plans for the next 3 months. December also is kind of in this, I guess, but these will all be finished by October 13th because I have a live show with my channel members discussing the Raven cycle. We're reading these every 2 weeks. I'll be reading The Dream Thieves. This is the Raven cycle by Maggie Stiefvater this week, and then I have a spoiler-filled video coming out this Saturday for this for members, and then after that 2 weeks later, Blue, 2 weeks later, The Raven King. This is the greatest buddy read ever. There's a Discord chat. Some people are reading it for the first time. I'm reading it for the millionth and slowly enjoying my time with it, so that's been great. Next, let's talk about my next video. The one I'm about to start working on is a video called, well, actually I don't know what it's called. Maybe you could come up with a title. It's gonna be called books I think are either going to be 1 star or 5 stars, or books I'm going to either hate or love, something like that. One of them that's going to be featured is Evocation by S.T. Gibson, because that's just how I feel about this book. I think I'm either going to hate it or I'm going to love it. And then I have thrown together a bunch of other books that I feel similarly about. One of them is My Husband by Maud Ventura. This is something that a bunch of people have told me to read, and I'm not convinced that I'm going to like it, but other people are. So that's another one in that video. A controversial video plan that I have for this month is I'm going to be reading the final book in a 26 book series when I've only read the first 3, because I have been making this series that not a ton of people have tuned into, and I also don't like the books, but I've been making this content that's really fun to make because it's me trying to solve a murder mystery by the end of the book, and Rob is in the videos and we have a silly time together. And I know that people who watch it want me to continue the whole series in order, and I just can't do it. So I will be reading the last one though, because I want to see where Doreen is at. 26 books into a series. Has she gotten with the person we think she's supposed to get with? Has there been any crazy developments? I just want to read the last one and be done with it. And I think it'll be fun, and it's also set where I live. That's why I started the entire thing, so I can go to different parts of the city. This is gonna be the last episode, only the 4th episode. Okay, next I guess we should talk about the book club. So I run a book club called the Literally Dead Book Club, and what we're reading for September is The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. Oh, I'm not telling you what these books are about. Why do I always do this? Okay, I kind of did with Zapped in the Zinnias because it's a murder mystery, a small town murder mystery, but Evocation is paranormal, magical, but more about the relationship dynamic kind of story. There's characters who are married, and then there's another guy that one of them used to be with, and they're gonna all come together, I guess. Well, I don't know what they're gonna, I don't know what they're gonna do together. But there's also magic and possession, I think. And then My Husband is just the ramblings of a woman obsessed with her husband. So we'll see how that goes. Now, the Literally Dead Book Club pick, The God of the Woods, is about a girl who goes missing from a summer camp, and her brother also disappeared 14 years ago. And so maybe something is happening every certain amount of years and people have to come together and figure it out. We're going through a bunch of different timelines, a bunch of different characters. I still am barely familiar with what's going on in here, but it's a literary mystery. And I'm really excited to read it and talk to everybody about it at the end of the month. Then in October, it's novella season. I'm going to be reading a whole bunch of novellas. I think I'm going to make 2 videos, I've decided, because I do want to do something else in October as well. I need to finish out the Finding a 5-Star from Every Year I've Been Alive in October. So I need to leave room for that. But I'm going to do, oh, that doesn't belong in there. I'm going to do 2 videos where I read all of my horror novellas and tell you which ones are worth it. This one is not a novella, it's a short story collection, but I think I can also read a story a day from here because this is a couple people, my friend Gabby from Gabby Reads, it's one of her favorite horror short story collections ever. So I just want to get to this. Part of me wanted to pick it for the Literally Dead Book Club because it would be fun to do a short story collection again. The last one didn't go great though. So I've been back and forth about that idea, but there's also another horror book coming out next year, a collection that I think would make a better pick. I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and read this and then tell you if it's great. I'm gonna read Midnight on Beacon Street. I don't need to tell you what these are all books. They're horror. Pocket Knife Kitty. The Only Safe Place Left is the Dark. The Bell Chime. I'm gonna read To Be Devoured. Dirty Heads. Weep Woman Weep. Your Shadow Half Remains. This is another little collection called Teenage Grave, so I might get to that. And then the 3 novellas that I'm reading in October for the Literally Dead Book Club. We have This Is Where We Talk Things Out by Caitlin Marcoux. We have Graveyard Shift by M.L. Rio, and The Night Guest by Hilda Knudstedtier. So we will be discussing all of those at the end of October. One of them is like a sleepwalking woman. One of them is a group of characters looking into a crime. And this one is about a mother and daughter and strange things that happen. And then the November pick has not been decided yet. It's going to be up to a poll between 8 different books on Instagram at the end of September. So make sure you are following so you're up to date. I will try to remember to make like a YouTube post letting you know that the poll is live, and I'll announce that everywhere so everybody knows what we're going to be reading last. Next up, like I said, I have my 2006 video to make for Finding a 5-Star. I have so many things that I want to read for that video, but first we have to do 2004, and I haven't actually committed to anything, but I'm going to start filming that in about a week. So you should see that in September. And then in October, the only one that I'm going to tell you I'm for sure reading, probably maybe The Road by Cormac McCarthy. But I'm definitely reading this one because I apparently bought it twice. This is The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. I have really liked his short story collections, and so I bought this one forgetting that I already found this for just like, I think it was $2 at the library in one of their bins where they were selling things. I can't tell you the plot of this because I don't know, or I don't really remember. But this is one that I just have a lot of hype for. I feel like it's going to be the 5. And so I'm going to start everything else first. And then if anything there's going to be a 5, I'm going to have to like pause it so I can read this giant book. Oh, another video I need to work on for October is my next in the installment of, actually, I don't even know what to call this video series. I'm just making themed videos around, I want to call them creatures, but sometimes they're just like real life things like dinosaurs and sharks. But then I also did a mermaid episode, and then people have so lovingly reminded me lately that I did do an episode on butterflies and bunnies. So I have one planned for October. I'll go ahead and let you guess what scary October theme I might have going on. I'm gonna keep that TBR under lock and key right now. Actually, I'm gonna talk to the channel besties about it in like their own separate video, because I need them to help me make some decisions. I definitely have some plans to do a Goodreads Choice Award video this year. There might actually be more than one, but we'll figure that out. And on the day that the Goodreads Choice Awards goes live, there will be a live show with my channel members where I go through everything. We see it for the first time together like I've done for the last couple years. I can't give you my TBR for the Goodreads Choice Awards video until that happens and everything gets announced, obviously, but also even more so than normal, I can't even make plans for what I think might show up because my TBR this year is a little bit out of my control. Again, channel besties have the inside scoop and they're helping me figure out what all of that is. I also think I've decided that I'm gonna cancel a video, my 3rd goal assessment, because I just don't feel like I really need to do a whole video surrounding that again. I basically did 2 videos already this year where I look at my goal list at the beginning of the year and see what I've checked off and what I haven't, and just successfully tick things off for a week. And I think I've done it enough that I don't need to do it another time. Plus that leaves things open for me to film another silly, more creative vlog. Since we're talking about fall, something very exciting happening in fall for me is my 10-year booktube anniversary in November. So I have plans. I have big plans. November is actually going to kick off a whole year-long series of videos, and I'm very excited for that. Thank you so much for everybody who's been here that long and who's been watching and supporting my channel. I have a lot of ideas. In fact, I'm going to make an entire video just like in November about 10 years on BookTube, how I feel, like videos I've made, and just kind of like a stats video. And then in that, talk about some of the videos that I'm going to be creating over the next year. But the first one you're going to see for that series is in November, where I read a selection of books from 10 years ago that I haven't read. And on my actual booktube anniversary, November 29th, I'm going to be doing a besties live show. I do reading sprints all the time, a couple hours here and there throughout the month. On November 29th, I'm doing a 10-hour live stream. Reading, games, I don't know what it's gonna be, but I'm gonna be live for 10 hours, which I have absolutely never done before. And then I guess a couple new releases, I should talk about those because even if they don't fit for videos, I wanna make sure that I read them by the end of the year because I am excited about them. One is Lucy Undying, a Dracula novel by Kirsten White. One of them is A Sunny Place for Shady People by Mariana Enriquez, who writes short story collections a lot. This is another one. She's also the author of Our Share of Night, that big book that I loved so much last year. So I want to make sure I get to this. I also have a couple horror books that even if they're not selected for the November pick for the book club, I'll make sure I get to. Are there any other fall releases that I'm super hyped about? Let me check. Oh yeah, Vilest Thing by Chloe Gong. This is the sequel to Immortal Longings. Very excited about that. It's like body swapping fantasy. Throne of Secrets by Carrie Maniscalco. I forgot. That is our Smut of the Month club for the besties. Well, it was supposed to come out earlier. So I guess it's kind of moving to November. So if you're reading that, make sure you read the first one first, which is, what is it? Throne of the Fallen. I'm gonna be rereading that at some point and then reading Throne of Secrets. I also really want to read Model Home by River Solomon, which I'm trying not to read too much of the synopsis for. I know it's like a haunted house story, but not like a traditionally horror one. So I don't know what that's gonna be, but I'm excited about it. And then there's a couple like almost silly seeming paranormal ones, Fang Fiction and A Grim Reaper's Guide to Catching a Killer. These covers both really appeal to me, and I think they're gonna be fun reads. And I think that's maybe everything that I need to talk to you about. It sounds like a lot for just a couple months worth of content. Now I need to do my members TBR jar. So my September read was supposed to be whatever this one is, the Brandon Sanderson. I'm moving that to October because, oh yeah, that's another 2006 one that I want to read in the 2006 video. That's why I put it off. So every month I do read something from my members TBR jar. And I, in fact, need to pick one right now to read in the next couple weeks for September because I don't have one. October's already been pulled. And then I'm going to do November and December just so I can organize all of these things in my mind. I haven't touched this TBR jar in a while, and I don't know if you can see, it's a little dusty. That's embarrassing. But I'm gonna put it all in this bag because it's Halloween-ish. The vibes are right. And it feels like I'm trick-or-treating or something. Also, I just needed something bigger to mix stuff up because look how many more I have. I didn't count them and a bunch just fell on the floor, but I think I have like 100 more besties submissions from the last couple months. And of course, I put them all in orange and yellow. I keep saying I'm gonna buy a TBR jar that's big enough to fit everything, but now I kind of like the bag. It's just not as fun because you can't see what I'm picking and what's all in here. But I want something that I've read before and something that I've never heard of. Or not something I've read before, something on my TBR and something not on my TBR, so that'll keep it fun. Okay, we've got a red one. Oh, it's a long comment. This is an old comment. Never Have I Ever by Isabel Yap. At first I couldn't choose a book for this, but I'm 2/3 of the way through it and I'm loving this speculative fiction short story collection. I remember seeing you mention this. This is from Erin. Is this the one? Wait, I think I just mixed it up in my head with something else. I was like, is this the cover that I designed in one of those cover design ones? No, it's this other funny looking cover. Okay, so it's a short story collection. Spells and Stories, Urban Legends, and Immigrant Tales. The magic in Isabel Yap's debut collection jumps right off the page from the joy in her blah, 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 blah. Okay, now I definitely don't need to do that goal video because I'm reading enough short stories. And that's like the #1 thing that I wanted to check off more by the end of the year. Okay, I'll pick that up. Next pick. I want to envision a color in my mind. Like I want to have a really beautiful fall palette. It's like a mustard yellow. Erin! Oh my god, Erin, I pulled yours. Oh, wow. Okay, Erin. Erin. Erin has picked The Shadow of the Wind. Wow, that's certainly a choice for me to add to my end of year TBR. When will I have time for this? Not sure. There's also a secondary recommendation that I'm not gonna show everybody because everyone's gonna be mad that I didn't pick that one because it's in the TBR jar so many times. And I know from previous polls that some people get sad when someone gives me multiple options and then I choose the one that they didn't want me to choose. So, oh my gosh. The Shadow of the Wind, it's about like, oh wait, I own that. It's about a boy who reads a book and he's like the only one who has the book. And then he's on this mission to find other copies of the book. Carlo Ruiz Zafón. Everyone wants me to read this. It's on my poster out there. It's just very long. Now we've had 2 errands, just spelt differently. Let's see if we can get a third. I want, for the color palette, a yellow or like a pumpkin orange. That would fit the trio really well. There's so many stuck together. I'm so glad I'm doing it this way so I can separate some things. Okay, do I just have one? Oh, it's hot pink. Not really in line with the others, but that's okay. Oh! No! No. No. Yes, but no. When the fuck? No. When? I'm not gonna have time to read this. Okay, someone's gonna have to come up with some type of video concept for me to fit this into because I don't have time to read such a big book. Like, when on earth? I just pulled The Shadow of the Wind and now I have to read Jade City. Jade City. I am excited to read Jade City. I know that this is in the TBR jar quite a few times. I feel like I'm gonna love it. This is from Taylor. Okay, new member here. I recommend Jade City by Fonda Lee. The whole Greenbone saga is incredible and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Yes, it's part of a series, but the books are absolutely worth a read. They're heavy and the politics between the clans and the magic. Oh, the comment got cut off. I don't know what else is to come after this, but you don't need to sway me because I don't really have a choice. When the heck am I gonna read that? I actually really like how these look together. And it matches my bookshelves because on the top rows of my bookshelves, it's red, orange, yellow, and pink, because I don't know where else to put pink. All right, so those are my fall book plans. Thank you so much for watching. There's some things I'm excited about. There's some things I'm iffy about. I'm gonna have a good time. I think we're gonna have a good fall together. Let me know what you're planning on reading, any new releases you think I missed out on. And I'll see you for many more videos to come in the upcoming months. Love you as a friend. Bye.